Hello, it is I. Now some people buy cars because of the speed, some for the practicality, some for their economy, and some for their sound. And deep down as car guys, I think we all do the last one. However, a lot of these great sounding cars are usually very flashy and grab a load of attention, and you might not want that. Well, you've come to the right place. So here are 10 normal looking cars which sound incredible. Now before getting into this video, oh my knee, ow, my need for you to press the like button. 4,000 likes is the target as per usual. Liking the video helps out so much more than you can imagine, and it's free. And seeing as over half of you guys watching have not subscribed, make sure to join the family down below. We are on the road to 200k and I love having new faces here on the channel. Thank you very much, and now let's get to the first car, which is the T5 Volvo C30. The C30 is Volvo's compact hatchback which started production in 2006. It came with a diverse choice of engines, including a 2.5 litre turbocharged 5-cylinder, which was found in the T5 model. This was the same engine used in cars like the Mark II Focus ST and Focus RS, so it made quite a nice noise. What a lovely sound. You could also get a C30 T5, which is a diesel 5-cylinder which surprisingly sounds just as good. Who would have thought diesel cars would ever sound good? And not only do these 5-cylinder engines sound phenomenal, but they're very reliable too according to T5 owners. Now the C30 isn't the only discrete 5-cylinder Volvo out there which sounds amazing. There are many other T5s in Volvo's lineup, but I went with the C30 because to the naked eye, even to car guys, this just looks like every other hatchback on the road. So the C30 is a great car that sounds amazing yet blends in very nicely. The Volkswagen Golf VR6. Now VR6 engines are usually reserved for sporty Volkswagens, like the Corolla, the Golf R32 and even the Beetle RSI. But did you know that it's made itself into a bog standard Golf as well? Because it has. It's found in both the Mark III and Mark IV Golf VR6s, and it's very hard to tell apart these cars from their standard counterparts, apart from the massive VR6 badge on the grille. Okay, so we've elaborated that these are very standard looking, but do they sound any good? I'll let you be the judge of that, but I think they sound amazing. And not only do these VR6s sound good, but they are great platforms for high horsepower builds. How insane is that? And the great thing is that these are fairly cheap as well, with great examples going for under 5, even 4 grand. So it's an ideal car to blend into traffic while sounding great and saving you money too. The 2nd gen Dodge Ram 2500. Here's one for the American viewers. The Dodge Ram is like the synonym for a pickup truck. It's a very iconic vehicle over in the States. You could get these Rams with the choice of various different engines, like a diesel straight 6, a petrol V6, a petrol V8, and even an 8-litre diesel V10. Now I know what you guys are thinking, and yes, this is real. It only produces 300 brake horsepower, which is very underpowered for an 8-litre engine, but it certainly does not lack in noise, because yep, that's one brutal sounding car right there. Now it's not the exact same engine found in the Viper, seeing as the Viper has a petrol V10, but come on, you gotta admit that the V10 Ram does sound very naughty. Anyway, some later model Dodge Rams did also use V10s, but they were much more flashy and in your face with bulky body kits, huge rims and racing stripes, whilst the 2nd gen ones literally just look like regular pickup trucks. So I had to include the Ram into this video. It's a very sleeper sounding car, we need to come up with a term for that. The Renault Espace. The Espace was Europe's first attempt at a minivan in the 1980s, and it proved to be a huge success as many other manufacturers started making their own ones. Anyway, so after Renault's first Espace, they made another one, then another one, then this one, which came with a 3.5 litre V6 engine. And this was no toned down refined V6 that you'd expect in a people carrier. Oh no, because it sounded like this. Yep, now does that sound familiar? Well, it should do if you're a Nissan fan, because it's the same VQ35 found in the 350Z and Infiniti G35. Who would have thought that a VQ would make its way into a French people carrier? You know what, let's hear it one more time. Lovely stuff. This engine was also used in many other Renaults too, like the Laguna, the Velsatis, and even Formula Renault racing cars. But I had to include the Espace into this video because because it's a minivan. You'd never expect a car like this to have a VQ in it. So if you have a family but have JDM running through your veins, the Espace is the perfect car for you. Although these V6 Espaces are very rare to come by, so good luck finding one. The Mercedes S600. In 1991, Mercedes introduced their new S-Class series, the W140. It had a choice of various different engines. However, the most known one has to be its 6-litre M120 V12. Now these engines come out of the factory refined and quiet, as they do with every other luxury V12 car out there. But if you tinker with the exhaust a little bit, it ends up sounding like this. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, it would do if you're a fan of Pagani's, because it's the same engine fan in all Pagani Zonda models including the Zonda R, which is one of the craziest cars ever made. Crazy sounding too. Mental. And surprisingly, you could get these S600s for under 10 grand, which is pretty cheap for a car with a Zonda engine. The Toyota Corolla T-Sport. In 2001, Toyota introduced their sporty Corolla called the T-Sport, and to the average person it doesn't look much different to the standard Corolla, but what the average person doesn't know is that it's powered by a 1.8-litre VVTi engine called the 2ZZGE, which was pretty much Toyota's take on Honda's VTEC engine, except in my opinion it sounded much better. I mean, have a listen to this. Yep, that is the same engine you get in this little Corolla thing. The engine was so strong and capable that Lotus ended up using it in their Elise, their Exige, their Exige Cup 260 and their crazy 211 thing. There's a Corolla engine in that, so not only are you getting a great sounding engine but a highly tunable one too. And all that packed into this little Toyota is a great way of looking discreet but sounding like a race car. The Ford S-Max. Another minivan? Yep, surprisingly some minivans do have some pretty crazy engines. And the S-Max is no exception, because you could get one with a 2.5-litre turbocharged 5-cylinder engine out of a Mark II Focus ST, which sound pretty good if I do say so myself, but surely that engine in a minivan would be muffled to bits and sound very minivan-y. Well, think again, because this is what it sounds like on the S-Max. That sounds amazing. It's impossible to be a car guy and not love the sound of a 5-cylinder engine. The Alfa Romeo 147 GTA. Okay, now if car guys saw a 147 GTA on the road, they'd know that it's a 147 GTA. But to the average person, they just look like bog standard hatchbacks, so I had to put this into the video. Anyways, the 147 GTA is Alfa's attempt at a hot hatchback, but Alfa Romeo being Alfa Romeo didn't want to give their one a small displacement turbocharged engine, like every other hatchback on the road. They wanted to be a little crazier, make the car feel alive, give it a passion and a soul. So they gave their 147 a 3.2-litre naturally aspirated Busso V6, sending 250 brake horsepower to the front wheels. And if you know cars, then you'll know very well that the Busso V6 is arguably the greatest sounding V6 ever created. I mean, have a listen to this. What a godly sound. And with this 147, you're not only getting a discreet looking great sounding car, but also a possible future investment too. This is one of the last Alphas ever to receive a Busso V6, so I can't see them dropping down in value any further. Hence the 147 GTA had to make it into this video. The Volkswagen Phaeton. The Phaeton is a full-size luxury saloon car made by Volkswagen in 2002, and it had a very diverse choice of engines, from a diesel V6 to a diesel V10, to a petrol VR6, to a petrol V8, and a 6-litre W12. The same one found in the Bentley Continental, except this car doesn't wear a Bentley badge, it wears a Volkswagen badge, which is much more discreet. Anyways, the W12 is very muffled and refined with a Phaeton, seeing as it's meant to be a luxury car, though if you straight pipe it, then it turns into an animal. How does it sound so good? It literally sounds like a Bugatti Huayra. Listen to this! It's uncanny, thus I had to put the Phaeton into this video. It's an insane sounding car which looks so discreet. And that is the end of the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you want to see more videos just like this one, then make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. We are trying to hit 200k by the end of this year, so any help will be greatly appreciated. Also leave a comment down below, it helps out a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll try and get to as many of you guys as I can. Thank you very much, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one guys, stay safe, stay inside, until next time. Cheers.
My dinero's what I'm out to get. Sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again. Got an A1 Chica with a drive like a 3 litre. That's what she needs D for, like the